What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Game Day with Trey, man. This your host, Trey. That's my homeboy, Face.
What up, world?
And we finna go ahead and give y'all the top five quarterbacks in the AFC. Yeah, I said it. Top five in the AFC. Not the NFC this time. This time it's going to be a little more difficult to be able to put together this list because we are talking about the greatest quarterbacks in the NFL today, right now. And they all in the same conference, you guys. And we're going to give you some PPR fantasy info on this, as well as some history with a lot of good debate. But let's go ahead and get into this. Face. Go ahead, man. Crank your list up, man. From top to bottom, brother.
All right, I'm gonna start with number one. I'm pretty sure we all agree upon this, so it's kind of easy. Pat
Yeah.
Mahomes, the Magic
Okay.
Man, he said.
Okay. I can go with
Number
that.
two.
Hold
Number
up.
two.
I can go with the Magic Man, and there's many reasons for that. So, I mean, I know in a previous discussion we did, or you did state that you go with Magic Man because of the fact of his accomplishments on the field, but then you said that there were some other things that you didn't agree that you might not place him at that spot for. Is there any reason why you wouldn't put Magic Mahomes number one? I mean, we talking about Patty, baby.
I'm saying he does the things he does because he's the best improviser on the field, especially out of quarterbacks. But I'm
Yeah.
saying pure throwing talent, arm strength. I feel like his other quarterbacks that probably could beat him out. But
Oh
as
yeah.
far as actually going out there and doing what it needs to be done to win the game, he's the number one at it. He improvises. I'm saying I done seen this man do no look passes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I have to give him the credit. He's the number one when it comes to winning games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're doing what it takes to win. So, but I'm saying just far as throwing wise, I feel like his quarterbacks got better arms than him. You feel what I'm saying? I don't feel like he's the best throwing quarterback in the NFL, but he's the best quarterback because he's getting it done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At the bottom line, if you get your team, you put your team together, the job is to get it done. So he's
Hmm.
getting it done at the highest level. So I have to
Possible.
give him the number one spot.
Okay. Who's your number two?
Number two, I'm gonna go with Cool Joe, Joe Burrow.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Cool Joe. Number three. Now
No,
this is a toss up.
hold up now. We got to talk about why you like Joe. I would like to I'd like to come to a better or greater understanding of why you think Joe is your number two. Even though, we do have some similarities, which we'll get into in a second in our list, but just go ahead.
Joe Burrow is, to me, one of the purest quarterbacks as far as
Okay.
arm talent and so that's why I give it to Joe. And he also has the talent. Ain't too
Yeah.
many too many of these quarterbacks on
Quarterbacks.
this list brag and say they got to do like Chase
Yeah.
catching the ball. You feel what I'm saying?
Hmm.
That's a whole nother animal. We are
That's a
talking
whole
about
nother
him,
level. Yeah,
but
that's a future of comp. Yeah.
that's a good weapon to have. If I had so I like Joe already. I like the fact that he don't get too high, he don't get too low. Joe stays cool through the course of the ups and the downs. You feel what I'm saying? So I just like his demeanor. I like his attitude. You know what I mean? So that's why I put Joe at number two.
Okay.
Okay. Number three. Now this kind of like, but I'm gonna go at Josh Allen.
Ah,
You know what I'm
okay.
saying? It, I could have put Herbert there. I could have put so, but I'm gonna go with Josh Allen.
Okay, now hold on. Now you got to explain to me, Josh Allen at number three. How does he get to that level with you? I like Josh Allen, and when I get into my list, maybe he's on there. Maybe we'll talk about that. But there's a lot of reasons
Why
why
you
Josh Allen might be where he might be on my list versus where he is on your list. So I
he's
mean,
number three
because
on my list?
I mean that's pretty high for
Hey,
Josh Allen. Look, man, you talking about somebody who beefing with Stephon Diggs right now, his number one wide
that
receiver.
that
Okay,
and
And
That is that matter of fact, let's see, that's the one of the reasons I put him up there because with Stephon Diggs and the connection that they have, that's part of the reason that I put him
yeah,
so high because Stephon Diggs is another
I
lethal
can
weapon.
I understand that.
Lethal weapon.
But when you're a quarterback, okay, and you're supposed to be of his ilk. I mean, they compare him to where he could be better than Jim Kelly. All right. And that's a lot for up in Buffalo. Okay, but at the end of the day, we're also talking about a quarterback who came out of a small college, really wasn't like that his first year. He leaned a lot on athleticism and running the ball. He leaned on a lot of it his second year. His third year, he tightened up, started throwing better, this, that, and the third, more accurate, but he also got paired up with Diggs at that point. Diggs, coming from Minnesota, was a disgruntled wide receiver who was doing the same thing he's doing right now. I mean, not to put it on him right now, because I don't know who's at fault for the beef they have. But in Minnesota, I can remember a playoff game where they were winning the game, and he was on the sidelines complaining because he wasn't getting the ball, but they were winning by like 20 some odd points. Okay. After that, they lost the next game. He made an exit.
Pick it up,
Then
pick it
he
up.
then he ended up in Buffalo, man. So on his exodus from Minnesota after that season, when they lose in the playoffs, after he's crying in the playoff game, and he goes to Buffalo, gets traded there or whatever like that, finds his way in Buffalo. All right, him and Josh Allen get together, like I said, and it's beautiful. It's roses. But I can't remember the last time that a wide receiver got into it with his quarterback, and the relationship was repaired. Like, I cannot remember one time in the history of me watching football, and I've watched a lot of football, you guys, a lot of football. Can't remember one. So that's why I don't feel like Josh Allen could get that number three.
Hold on, you don't
Because,
remember one.
okay, who beefed and then came back together? Name me two. Name me a quarterback and a wide
My
receiver.
quarterback, my
Quarterback.
quarterback is a great quarterback. My quarterback is a good quarterback.
Yeah,
You don't
that's
remember that?
he was crying for his quarterback,
Who
and then
that?
his quarterback got rid of him after that. That's
Who that?
To. Yeah, that's that history lesson on you. Yeah, but him and the quarterback weren't beefing. He was crying for him because they were blaming him for
Yeah,
everything because he's Tony Romo. I mean, we all remember Tony Romo when they the fumble on the field goal kick or extra point. Tony Romo
Jerry Jones is in
interception.
love with Tony
Eh,
Romo.
Man, listen.
Jerry Jones is in love with Tony Romo.
I mean,
But yeah,
when you talk about things like that, that's what happens when you gotta. Well, that's a whole nother
all right.
discussion, man. So, who you got number
Well,
four?
at
Who you got number
number
four?
4, I'm gonna take Justin Herbert.
Okay, I can respect
I'm gonna
that.
take Justin Herbert just because I feel like the Chargers reloaded. I feel like they got an offensive coordinator that's going to stretch the field. That's going to let them use the arm, that strength that he has, and I feel like they just going to have a better season offensively. The Chargers. So I'm gonna take Justin Herbert at number 4.
Okay, I can respect Justin Herbert at number four.
I feel like with the offensive coordinator changed and the way that they like to score points. They like to stretch the field.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's going to work in his favor to have better numbers.
Okay.
Now, at number 5, I got to give it to my boy, Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson. Michael Jackson. I just got to give it to the Jacksons, man. You feel what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Who does it better than a Jackson?
Man, now, hey, and when you speaking that, you
Hey,
speaking facts. You
at the end of
speaking
the day, because
facts.
guess what? I know what this dude could give me healthy with more weapons, better running game. I feel like he's going to do better than Trevor Lawrence this year. Trevor Lawrence had
No,
a
man.
damn.
Hold up.
No,
Hold up.
listen.
Hold up. Hold
Trevor
up.
Lawrence
Hold
had a
up.
damn good year last year.
Hold up.
But I'm just
Trevor Lawrence
saying
beat him in the playoffs. He spanked his
that.
behind in the
Okay,
playoffs.
and guess what?
Okay?
Lamar
That's what
don't
Trevor
forget
Lawrence
that.
did.
Lamar don't
No,
forget
no,
that.
no. I'm not talking about Lamar. Look, I'm talking about Justin Herbert. I'm talking about your Justin Herbert pick prior to that.
Oh,
Okay, yeah, I understand your Lamar. Okay, your Lamar is supposed to be on this list, but you got Lamar so low, so disrespectfully low. Like, how you
what
put
do you
Lamar?
mean?
Look, man, hold on. I'm gonna show you right
I
now.
think.
I'm gonna show you right now. Let me go down my list. We're gonna do it quick, do it fast.
Hold on. I got my dog on. Hold on, I got my dog horse in the stable.
Okay,
I gotta
who?
bring my
Yeah,
dog.
hey, hopefully,
I
hope.
gotta bring my dog horse out the
Who
stable.
you bringing out the stable then? Who you got? Who he is? Let me
Young
know.
dude, C.J. Stroud, Houston Texans. Bring the pain. Yeah.
He said,
Yeah.
"OH, I-O."
Yeah.
Man, come on, man.
I think out of that group, I honestly feel like he's gonna do the best out of all of them.
Who's he throwing the
Out of,
ball to? I asked you this
huh?
the other day. Yeah, exactly. Who is he gonna throw the ball to?
He could throw it
Brandon
to
Cooks ain't
himself.
there no more. Brandon Cooks left. He is in Dallas.
But but guess what? That's the beautiful thing of it. He's gonna make his receivers. If you're the type of quarterback, hold on. If you're the type of quarterback that you think you are, you're gonna make the guys around you better. And it's good that you don't know them. Because a lot of receivers we never know what Tom Brady before Tom Brady started throwing it to. You couldn't even name them. You didn't even know they played in the NFL, right or wrong.
Man, look, Tom
I
Brady and
just feel like
CJ Stroud are totally different animals. Okay. And the weapons that Tom Brady had, all right, Tom Brady had Troy Brown when he first got there. All right. He had uh
who was that before? Who was Troy Brown before Tom Brady
Troy
went on the
Brown was
field?
okay when he was there with Drew Bledsoe. He wasn't a bad receiver when he was with Drew
Nobody,
Bledsoe.
nobody knew who Troy Brown was. Nobody knew who he was.
Man, look.
So I didn't know. So we're gonna say it like this. I feel like he has the potential to come and make Houston a lot better.
Let me tell you who he's got. He's got Nico Collins. Nico Collins is projected to receive for 688 yards on 50 receptions. He's got Robert Woods, vet, out of LA, out of Buffalo, been a few different places. Okay. He's projected to do 615 yards on 55 receptions. He got John Michie III out of Alabama, was hurt last year, didn't get to really touch the field for the Texans. He could be a threat. That might be a good weapon. That might work for him. He got Tank Dell. They drafted him in the draft. They only got him projected for 326 yards though on 44 receptions. So I'm kind of worried about that, especially since they only have him. If you're looking at CJ Stroud's projections, fantasy wise only, okay, 3,328 yards total, 18 touchdowns, and 14 interceptions, brother, with 41 sacks. That's a lot of getting beat up. He ain't going to rush for much. He's only going for 128 rushing yards. He's only good for 192 points. And he's the 28th best
Hey,
quarterback
don't be
fantasy
trying to
wise.
speak about. That's my dog horse. That's why I picked him to come out the dog.
Man, look,
See what I'm saying? That's what
if
a
he
dog
comes out the
horse is
dark,
supposed to be.
if he comes out the dark, it's like it's like Buttercup at Preakness, or
But guess what?
you know
You
what I
gonna say,
mean?
damn. Y'all gonna say, damn, boy, face to it. He said that. He said Charlotte was gonna come out that pack.
Man,
Watch.
look, okay, we gonna see, But right now, I'm gonna give you my top five, and I'm gonna give you the numbers why, and then we gonna see because number one, of course, everybody knows best quarterback in the world right now. Been the best quarterback in the world for the last couple of years. You know, uh, although he did lose a Super Bowl to this guy right here in the last couple of years, last few years. It happens. It happens. But we could only be talking about Magic Mahomes. Okay,
Magic.
the only quarterback out there that makes to remind you of Magic Johnson. Okay, the way the man plays the game and the efficiency, the ability to see ahead of the play and actually be able to anticipate what the defender is going to do, married up with the perfect coach quarterback marriage. When we talk about Andy Reid, married up with your man Magic Mahomes, throw in a sprinkle of Travis Kelsey, okay, just to make it look good. Got Pacheco,
Sprinkle.
yeah,
A
sprinkle them,
sprinkle.
just sprinkle
Travis
them, just
Kelsey is his
sprinkle them.
#1 receiver.
Sprinkle him.
That's
You
his number
sprinkle him in
one.
there. You just sprinkle him in there, man. If
Hey,
you could
listen, let me
stop the
show you
sprinkle,
something.
you let me
Let me
know.
show you something. Let me show you something. Without no Travis Kelsey, there will be no Patrick Mahomes right now. If it wasn't for Travis Kelsey and being the relief valve that he is for him, he would not be as successful as he is. That's a dude that you could trust. He know what he know what to get at. He knows
every tight end. Look, every tight end is the security blanket of the quarterback.
But everybody ain't got a
That's
tight end
first.
like Kelsey.
Second, okay,
you're
right. There's levels to this, and Kelsey's on another level. I'm not putting Kelsey on the very top level of tight ends of all time.
I'm not of all time, but
no,
he's on that list.
He's on the list. You know, he's it's a short one, and he's on it, but he's not like at the top of that. Okay.
But okay, we don't put him at the top of the list. We're gonna say this: if you take him out of the equation, how many games you think Pat Mahomes would have won? How many of these games?
With just Tyreek Hill, because he had Tyreek Hill. So with just Tyreek Hill, and
everybody else he done had. He can have everybody else he done had.
Yeah, I'm thinking about him. I mean, you might be able to say that. We know that the tight end has a lot to do with his success. We know that the tight end has been integral in the offense that they run. We all know that.
No, only reason I say that because you said sprinkle in a little.
No, because when I'm saying sprinkle, the way they run their offense, it's not like you can see the play coming to Kelsey when it's coming. It's a sprinkle. It's not a blatant crossing route that is not being offset by a deep post. It's not there's levels to the actual levels of coaching that's happening in this game. All right, the way it's being drawn up for him.
You know why it don't look like it? Because he really blocking, but he know when to shed the block and come up. It's like if you look at him, like he know how to play the defense. When you just like you say, when you look at him, when he running his routes, it don't even look like he's trying to get into the route sometimes. But guess where he end up at?
But that's the thing. He doesn't have to be trying to get into the routes because the way everything is designed on this offense and the way that Magic Mahomes does his behind the back look, crossover, deep pass. Like the man ran for 496 yards in the Super Bowl against us, and he didn't even run for over 50 yards. All right, we talking about just scrambling. Like you have to respect Patrick Mahomes. You got to respect his gangster, bro. You got to respect his gangster. That's like saying there would be no Brady without Gronk. Brady got Super Bowls before Gronk, man.
That's that's why you can't really say that. But you can't say that about
when Patrick. There will be a time when Kelsey will be gone because he's older than Patrick Mahomes, and we will get a chance to see that time. I'm not rushing that date because I like Kelsey, and I like the way his career is going, and I would like to see him surpass Gronk on that list and other tight ends that I have on that list. You know,
I think he's gonna pass Gronk though without no trouble, because I don't think Gronk played long enough. For real, you got to think about it. Gronk already gone.
Yeah, with more rings.
If he played 5 more years, he gonna pass all Gronk numbers. Gronk numbers really ain't that great
No,
back there.
Gronk is not the top of that list. Okay,
Yeah, I know.
he's not the top of that list. He's on the list, but he's not the top of that list. I just named his name because he's one of the lower numbers on that list that is higher still than Kelsey, at least on my list. But back to the list.
Oh,
Oh,
hell no. Hold on. So you rather take Gronk over Kelsey?
I want a tight end that can block and run, brother. I want one that can block and
Kelsey.
run. Oh no, Kelsey,
Kelsey.
not like Gronk. Not like Gronk. Gronk took the Buccaneers offensive line from a zero to a hero, brother. You like Gronkowski is a factor when it comes to blocking.
He's just a
He's a
chipper.
factor.
He's
He's a
he's
factor,
just a
brother.
good chipper. But Kelsey, I will have to take Kelsey over Gronk.
Well,
But we're on your list.
we'll debate that at a later date.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll do that at a later
Number
date.
2 on my list, Joe Cool. Yeah, I'm talking about Joe Burrow, man. All right,
Look
and
down the barrel of that shotgun there.
exactly. Blah. Look, bro, you don't want to play around with Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is a deadly weapon waiting to fire off. Okay, you talking about somebody who last year threw for 4,475 yards, 35 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. He was only sacked 41 times. And then when you look at what he did when it was talking about time to actually run the ball, he gave you 5 touchdowns, man. His completion percentage was 68.3. His QBR sounds low, but it's actually pretty decent. You know, at 58.7. His passer ratings of 100.4. And when you're looking at his fantasy projections for this year, the boy finna beast out. He's supposed to do 4,495 yards, passing 32 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, get sacked 45 times, give you another 5 touchdowns on the ground, come back and be the number 4 quarterback in all of the NFL fantasy wise with a PPR score of 334 points, looking to be projected to win between 11 and 12 games in the NFC North. Now, we all know the NFC North is like Game of Thrones. All right, it's a whole bunch of gangsters up there, and they're really trying to get it in at any cost. So I put Joe Burrow where I'm putting him at because of the fact of what I've seen from him. I've already seen that he can play without an offensive line, and now he's got a better one. I've already seen that he can survive without Jamar Chase, okay, because he did last year. I've already seen T.
Mm-hmm.
Higgins can carry the load. I've already seen that Mixon can stay in the mix. It's not like he's a running back that I like a lot, but he's good enough. All right. So there's a lot of good things they got going on, paired up with a great defense. Trey Hendrickson over there coming off the edge. They like when you're talking about a quarterback that knows how to call a game and control a game. We talked about it the other night when he dismantled the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Tampa last year while I was at the game. All right. What I saw Joe Burrow do was something that I've only seen on TV, you know, because I'm a Buccaneer fan, so we don't get to see a lot of that unless it's a visiting team. Like, so, yeah, and I mean, or unless you go back to when we were in the Central, when it was the Green Bay Packers, and we were playing Brett Favre and stuff like that, and Randall Cunningham and Warren Moon and all that back then. But that I digress. Okay, when you're talking about Joe Burrow, man, you're talking about the second coming of possibly somebody else by the name of Joe. But what say you, Face?
Don't do it. Don't do it. It's too early.
Oh man, he got an L. That's the difference.
It's
See,
too early.
look, when I say the second coming, it's just like we compare Kobe to. Hold up.
Looking like
Look,
Joe Blow.
look. I'm gonna explain it to you. We compare Kobe Bryant, okay, to Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was the original iteration. Kobe was a carbon copy. All right, played the same style game. Joe Burrow is a carbon copy of Joe Montana.
And you still did it. And you still win.
He is. He is. He is, man. I can't get away from that.
I'm just saying, give him a couple more years.
Oh, he got a loss, just like Kobe had. You know what I mean? He got L's already in the championship. So they're like, yeah, things like that happen. Not everybody can be perfect in the championship.
But guess what? Guess what the thing about Kobe though, right? Jordan, he's the only one that Jordan actually acknowledged, saying, okay, if there could be another Mike, he said it just like they said, there could be another Mike.
And
I
Joe
would have to
Montana
take Kobe.
already acknowledged that with Joe Burrow. He already acknowledged that Joe Burrow reminds him. They've already sat and pontificated about that. So, you know.
Joe just wanted y'all to go look at his old tapes.
Hey man, don't disrespect Joe Montana, man.
Hey,
He the
wanted y'all
GOAT,
to go
bro.
look at his old tapes. So no, because a lot of people don't forgot about Joe.
I
So guess
know.
what? If Joe tell you he remind you of me, then people gonna be like, what? Let's go see what he done. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
But
fact.
at the end of the day, Joe Montana was the money man for real.
Joe
The
Montana get
money
to the Super
man.
Bowl and he gonna put it in you. He ain't gonna play with you. He gonna go ahead and take your head off. It's just what he do. Like so, and that's why I respect Joe Montana on the level I respect him on. I wish Joe Burrow would have had the ability to try to attempt to do something like that when he had a chance. But at the end of the day, man, that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes, and you don't always get to win them when you think you should. Sometimes you got to go through something. Sometimes you got to
Yeah.
feel a little pain. But go ahead, let's get to my number three on my list. Let's go ahead and shock the world with this one because that's what it's going to do. Okay. And I'm coming with L Jack, baby. Yeah, I said it. Lamar Jackson, number three quarterback in the AFC. And if you really want to know, he probably the number three quarterback in the NFL. But I'm not going to call that list right now until we get to that list. I'm only giving you that right now because of the fact the only dude who could be up there with him is
Man, you
another
must be
him.
some
You know what I
kids
mean?
in
So
him.
look,
You must be
look,
some
look, look,
y'all
look,
related?
look, man.
Y'all related?
Hey,
Y'all
he a
related?
Florida boy. I'm a
But that
Florida boy. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot. We got a lot in common. I'm a Jackson. He a Jackson. You know,
but I'll
could be
argue that
some
though.
bias there, but at the end of the day, he is a Raven.
It's warranted. It's warranted. I like Lamar. I like
Yeah,
Lamar.
you gotta
I feel
respect
like
Lamar.
I just don't want to, but I like Lamar. I feel like he's gonna do a lot better than a lot of people expect this year too. I
Honestly,
really
if
do.
you look at last year, right, he got hurt. He still gave you 2,242 yards, 17 touchdowns with only seven interceptions. When he left in the season, they were number one in their division. Okay. He rushed for 764 yards, and I don't even think he played a little bit more than half the season. I don't even think he made it that far before he laid down on him. And I'm not calling him a lay down artist. I'm not saying he physically laid down on him, okay, because he was injured and all that good stuff there. But at the end of the day, right, he also, was not present. And we're gonna leave that at that. All right. So anyway, he ended up completing 63.3 passing percentage. Now, if anybody has listened to any of the stats that we've given you or that I've been giving you, all these quarterbacks hover around 68.3 to at minimum 62.3. All right. And Lamar is at the very bottom of that. Okay. His completion percentage is 68 point, yeah, 68, 63.3 or 62.3. But that 62.3 is coming with a QBR of 59.1, which if you remember, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, if you remember, Joe Burrow was a 58.7. So if Joe Burrow 58.7 and Patrick Mahomes 77.6, Lamar Jackson a 59.1, we'll name some other quarterbacks later, but you see it's a range. So now you know what the maximum range is that you should be looking for versus what the minimums are when you talk about that QBR. All right, because the QBR, like I told you all the other day, is the facts on what a quarterback's doing when it comes to decision making time. All right. Now we get to that passer rating. His passer rating is at 91.1, which is still high. All right. And he is projected this year to throw for 3,269 yards, 25 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, probably get sacked about 36 times. But when it comes to rushing, boy, he's a beast. 933 yards, 5 touchdowns. Fantasy Rise, he's ranked the fourth best quarterback in all of the land. And PPR, he's going to give you 334. Now, or 326, somewhere between there. When you look at the projections and you look at Caesar's sports book and all that stuff there, the games, how many games they're favored to win by more than 57%. You look at that and you end up coming up with somewhere between 10 and 11 games. So this is going to be a successful year for Lamar Jackson with Todd Monken, along with Odell Beckham Jr. You forget he got Odell over there now. Then also factor in that he got the wide receiver that they just drafted, Zay Flowers out of Boston College, straight beef. All right. He still got Duvernay over there. He still got Mark Andrews over there. He still got J.K. Dobbins out the backfield. They're putting together they put together a nice little team, man. If you're not worried about what Baltimore is going to do this year, now that they're going to actually be throwing the ball, remember Lamar already led the league in touchdowns his MVP year, passing touchdowns with 44 passing touchdowns that year. Okay, you got to respect Lamar, man. You got to understand a Jackson gonna do what a Jackson gonna do, man. Yeah,
Hey.
yeah.
All right. Who your number 5?
Nah, we talk about number 4, man. Number 4 has got to
Number
be
4,
Josh
man.
Allen. This is where your boy Josh Allen come in at. And there's multiple reasons why he comes there. Like I told y'all previously, I feel like him and the moxie or the mojo between him and Stephon Diggs is kind of tainted right now. I really don't even feel like he might achieve what they got him projected to get to. All right. Last year, he threw for 4,283 yards, 35 touchdowns, and 14 interceptions in his first year without Brian Daboll. Got sacked 33 times, ran for 762 yards, which is a good thing, but his QBR was number 3 in the NFL with 71.4. So he makes the right decision at the right time, meaning he tucks and runs when he's supposed to. But at the same time, I think he does a little bit too much of that. And when you combine that with a wide receiver that's disgruntled, you end up getting hurt. Just saying. I don't want to put the bad bone on him, knock on, but I can't say that I don't see something like that in his future. The way they ran him and the way they run him is like he's Cam Newton. And anytime you run people like that, that's why I'm worried about Anthony Richardson and the way they're going to do him in his beginning in the NFL. All right. Because if they run you too hard or they run you too much, you end up hurting yourself. You might not never get back to where you're really supposed to be. And sometimes you don't mature into the player you're supposed to be
Career
because you don't
enders.
do what you're supposed to do. Yeah.
Career enders.
Career enders, man. Now they got him projected to actually be the number 2 quarterback in fantasy football. He's supposed to win between 11 and 13 games, but he is supposed to be good for 357 fantasy points PPR league. And you're looking at yards, 4,163, touchdowns, 31, interceptions, 13, sack, 37. Rushing yards goes down this year to 631. But he still gives you 6 rushing touchdowns, man. So at the end of the day, yeah, I just got a lot of worries in Buffalo. That's why he is so low on my list at number 4. He almost didn't make my list, man. He almost became the dark horse. I'm just keeping it 100. Because when I look at this next guy that I got at number 5, Trevor Lawrence, I think Trevor Lawrence has a lot higher upside, more potential with the coach that he's got with Frank Wright, and Travis Etienne, what weapons he's got there. I like him. They just need another wide receiver. They don't have a true number 1. Trevor Lawrence is supposed to do 4,113 yards, 25 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 27 sacks, 291 rushing yards for 5 touchdowns. He's projected, or his passer rating was 95.2 last year. He's projected to throw for 3,918. He's going to give you 26 touchdowns again. Only a couple more interceptions with 13 if some things don't work out for him. He's protected for 34 sacks. And PPR, they say he's the 10th best quarterback with 281 points. If you look at any game that in Caesar Sportsbook to see any game that he's projected to win, they're saying is over 57% probability. All right, he's going to give you between 8 and 9 wins. So yeah, you can't argue with that. Now that's why I'm saying that he almost passed Josh Allen. And then when you look at the next guy, my dark horse, I could. There is no argument, or I can't foresee an argument on why, at this point in time and present, my dark horse and my number 5 can't surpass my number 4. And my dark horse is your man Justin Herbert, man. Okay, Justin Herbert is
a dark horse.
Yeah, he's my dark horse. He's always underperformed. Just saying, he came in the league with a good team, bro. He came in the league with a very good team, very surrounded, good offensive line, Bosa. Last year he had Khalil Mack on there with him. He got Keenan Allen when he came in the league. They got Mike Williams. They got Josh Palmer. They got man, come on, man. They got way too much going on over there. He's always had something. He had Hunter Henry at one point, and another tight end. No, I refuse to say that he's not a dark horse. He got Austin Eckler. Look at all those weapons, man. That's a plethora of weapons, man. It's a plethora. That's too many weapons. You can't be successful with that, then it's a problem. I don't care if your franchise is cursed or not. My franchise was cursed. You see what we do?
That's your list. That's your dark horse. That's a hell of a dark horse, though. That's a hell of a dark horse.
Well, all right, y'all. That was the list for y'all, man. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Okay. We will be getting back at y'all in the next 24 to 48. So y'all have a blessed day. Stay safe. Stay out that heat. I see the heat wave coming. We already in it here in Florida. All right. And ignore that Gator stuff that my man up there got going on, man.
That's for my nephew.
Okay.
Man.
Okay. Well, look, we respect the nephew. I hope he has a successful career and gets some NIL up there. Get some good NIL. That's what you should be doing along with.
We're gonna have him on the show. We're gonna bring him on the show.
Oh, okay. That'll be great, man. Looking forward to that.
We're gonna bring him on the show. Then I just have my nephew go back to California today. Matter of fact, he just left today. I was gonna try to get him on, but he had to get back to practice. He had already missed the practice.
Mm-hmm.
So he had to get back.
All right, well, y'all hearing it. Y'all already know we already got some more guests lined up to come on the podcast, come talk some sports with y'all. All right. So, everybody, have a blessed day. Stay safe. We're going to holler at y'all, man. Peace.